back to Beyond the Rings, Paris 24, 30 short stories in 30 days. My name is Jeff Wells. I have the privilege of being the founder of Beyond the Rings and had the great joy of hanging out with these two. In the ultra masculine pink is Brandon Long, and to his right is his much better companion, Destiny Killian. And you guys are Missouri Baptist University students, so shine on. In there. And Brandon, you and I have been at the same church at Concord for a couple of years now.
Yeah, about 3,
And
I think.
I think you're right. I think it is three this fall. Yeah.
Mhm.
And you're still being willing to be seen out in public with me, not only in America, but internationally. There's
Depends
that.
on the day.
And then Destiny is a newer friend in my life, but you're studying worship at MBU, and you're from north of St. Louis a spell, right? Where's your
I'm from Ellsbury, Missouri.
Ellsbury? Is that right next to Podunk? I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. That is not nice. I'm sorry to all of our Ellsbury fans listening in. That's awful. But no, that's your home, and you both are sophomores this year,
Mhm.
right? And Brandon, you're studying Christian ministries.
Yeah, Christian ministry with a minor in apologetic studies.
All right. Well, you need to work on your apologies. But
Sorry.
good job. For those of you who don't know, apologetics is a defense of the faith, and that actually happens to be a very a great interest of mine as well, too. So,
Yep.
awesome. All right. Well, so I wanted Brandon and Destiny to come in and share some of their stories. And so we're going to kick it off with you, Mr. Long. Tell us one of your stories from Paris this summer.
So the first one that came to mind actually was the first one that actually happened in order of the days that we were there. So it was July 26th. It was the second day that we were actually on the ground in Paris because we landed on the 25th and had to wait for Jeff for.
That was a long day, wasn't it?
It was like 9 hour, or it was 13 hours travel time, and then another 8 hours waiting for you in the airport.
It's
So
not my fault that American canceled my first flight, and then the next two flights were delayed. I mean, every single flight, and you guys were waiting there, and Tony was waiting there, but you guys were first on the ground. We were there early.
we landed at like 5:40, I think.
AM.
It was bad.
And was it close to 7 before I got there?
Oh, it was later than that.
It was late.
It was
Yeah.
probably like 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Oh, yeah.
No, it wasn't that long.
It wasn't that late?
No,
Was
it
it?
was like 2 in the afternoon.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It was still bad though, because we had to sit with Tony and just in the airport in general, and it was.
When you'd already been traveling that much, it was a long day.
Yeah.
And just for everybody's excitement, Destiny, so we can tease him. And how many international flights was this for you? Oh, that's right. This was your first.
It was my first international flight. So.
So see, it was memorable. You will never forget how long you had to sit in that airport waiting for me.
Okay, Mr. Olympics.
All right,
Anyway.
please continue. It was the 26th.
Yeah, so we just hit the ground running, after waiting for Jeff. But we were trying to get into a park that's at the base of the Eiffel Tower that Jeff was very reluctant in like us telling him that we can't get into that.
You can say the word. I was obsessed.
He was.
I was obsessed with finding this park.
He was, and me and Destiny actually walked all 4 sides of the park, and it was a 12-foot high privacy fence on every single side. Like we could not get into this park, and he would not give it up.
Jeff, we can't get in there. We have to be able to get in there. I've seen pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, we
No,
can't.
you have
We
not.
cannot. You did not see pictures. I can tell you that right now.
You know where it ended up being, right? I was looking for the set of Olympic rings,
Mhm.
and it ended up being
At the Louvre.
no.
Not those ones.
That was no. The picture I was seeing on the internet was on like the second level of the beach volleyball venue.
Oh yeah.
So they had this great shot with the Eiffel Tower behind them, and the rings were right there. And that's what I was like. I had no idea it was
yeah.
in the venue that was off limits unless you had a ticket for the event. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my justification.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. But so we couldn't get into this park, and we were just walking along the Seine River, and we were just leaning on this like waist high wall. And Jeff sees a group of people, and one of them is wearing a USA swimming jacket. And so he goes, let me guess, swimming, as
I'm
Jeff does.
Captain Obvious here.
Exactly. Turns out it is a 2-time gold medalist, Ryan Held, and his family. And so we all started talking to him, and apparently I got to talk to Ryan. And I was telling him about what we're here to do and pin trading, and so I actually got a pin from him. It was a oval Olympics, like Olympic motto type pin, and I gave him a Team USA shield pin. Cool. You're an Olympian. You can get whatever you want, and I'll take
Right.
whatever you give me. But then I gave him our pin, did a full gospel presentation with him, and then we ended up getting a picture with him. I don't have that picture.
Well, for the right amount of money, you might be able to
No.
secure such said picture.
Anyway, but since our organization is Beyond the Rings, with the Eiffel Tower in the background, it was very fitting that we saw the side with the Olympic rings. And I remember being like, yeah, we're gonna see what's beyond the rings that are actually right behind us right now.
So you were going to be literal.
Oh, I was literal, and it worked. But then we ended up giving pins to him and his whole family.
His whole family, yeah, his wife.
And
I had a long talk with his mom and dad. They were very gracious, very kind.
yeah, and you said that his dad said that he usually carries metal with him, but he didn't
Yes,
have it that
he
day.
didn't have it that one day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay, so let me ask you guys a question. This was a big deal because meeting athletes is kind of like you kind of hope it happens, but you never know if it's going to happen.
Yeah.
How did you think you would be received? Were you hesitant? Were you scared? What were you thinking when that was happening?
At first, I didn't know he was an athlete.
Me neither. Yeah, I had no idea.
I just knew that he was built. Um, but for me, it was just like me being a bowler, I've met professional bowlers, tournaments and meet and greets and trade shows and stuff like that I've been to. And what I take from that is that it's really just they're a person, just happen to be really good at what they do. And so growing up, I would get starstruck a lot, but being in that environment a lot, it's just, oh, they're just a human being and a person who needs to be loved and cared for, who's just good at what they do.
And that's a great perspective because so many times we put people of fame or abilities or whatever on pedestals, and then we're disappointed when they are having a bad day and they, tell us to get away from them. Well, maybe they were just hounded by, three other crowds and they haven't had a moment to be with their family. But that's one of the things I've learned as well during the Olympics is just they're people who have achieved an incredible opportunity, but at the end of the day, they're just people. What did you think, Destiny, when all that was happening?
So I was more in the background taking pictures in that encounter. Um,
Were you starstruck or were you just kind of like, what is going on? Because it was a big group.
so not gonna lie, I did not know who he was at all.
I ain't either.
Plus, the girl was wearing the jacket, so who knew he was an athlete?
Yeah, it looked like a fancy jacket.
Yeah.
It looked like something Patrick Mahomes' wife could have designed right for
Mhm.
but I had no clue that she was connected with it. I
Yeah.
just thought she was a big Team USA swim fan,
Mhm.
So yeah. But that again can kind of play into your favor. Not be. That's what I tell people all the time when they hear about me going to the Olympics as much as I am. They're like, "Oh, you must be a big sports fan." I'm like, no, I'm a fair weather hometown sports fan.
You're one of those people.
I am, admittedly. And, it used to be requirement to be in ministry in St. Louis to know the Cardinals score. And they are hurting this year.
You don't want to know the
Um,
Cardinal score now.
Well, and they're, they could always count on 3 million visitors a year. And this year it's a ghost town. It's sad what's happening right now.
That's why you go for the Chiefs. Go for the football team.
Well, yeah, there's that. But it helps to keep that perspective that if you're not enamored by them, then it doesn't cause you to get tripped up when you're around them. Because again, at the end of the day, as cool as it was to meet an athlete and his family, we're there to have gospel conversations,
Mhm.
and that's the goal. And so I find that not having that over sense of awe is helpful. You still want to be respectful, and that's the
Mhm.
thing. If we just treat them with respect, because a lot of people assume, well, they're popular, they're known, I can invade their space and have no consideration for them. No, they're people who deserve respect, and if they're not interested. Okay, that's all right. Give them their
Mhm.
space. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What was the most? I don't know. The biggest takeaway from that encounter.
From that encounter was really just the fact that we don't know who we're gonna meet. We don't know when we're gonna meet them. We don't know why we're gonna meet them. But no matter who we meet, no matter where we meet them, no matter what we're doing when we meet them, just treat them with respect, grace, love, whatever it may be. And just if we get to a gospel presentation, great. If not, then we didn't, but we tried.
Right. Yeah. What about you, Destiny?
Adding
Yeah. What was your biggest takeaway? Kind of what was your biggest?
more of it was just that like athletes are normal people.
Yeah.
They're not just walking around. Hey, could have had his gold medals.
He could have had it on, right? Yes.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he didn't.
Right.
He's like, I'm a normal being, so treat me like one.
Right. Yeah.
And so
Yeah. I was surprised, I confess, with that encounter of I didn't expect anything to happen. I remember as we were walking down the street to where the crosswalk was to go back over to the other side along that wall, I'm thinking, what a waste of time. Why are we wasting our time doing this? I literally remember thinking that. And it wasn't no sooner than we had crossed the street that whole encounter unfolded.
Yeah.
And so that was a good attitude check for me to say, you know what? There's no harm done in going and seeing.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. All right. Anything else? Any last words about that encounter? Other than I want my picture?
No, I mean I want my picture, but don't be so stubborn on where we're going.
I don't know what he's talking about. But remember this: if I hadn't been so stubborn,
We wouldn't have been there.
we may not have been there.
Well,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
don't be so stubborn.
Yeah. Next. All right. Anything else, Destiny, on that one? Okay. All right. Hey, as we're wrapping up, let me just remind everybody, we're all going to be sharing at the Paris 24 Outreach Celebration at Concord Church, September 29th, 3 p.m. And it starts at 3 p.m. We're going to have desserts and drinks, and you're looking at half the BTR team here in the screen. I'm over here.
Doesn't matter.
And I don't know. And I'm just that voice from above. But we would love for you to come out and join us as we share more stories, videos, pictures. And we then will officially launch Italy 26, the Winter Games in Milan and Cortina. And we will be taking love offering that night. So we invite you to come and join us for that. All right. Okay. Thanks so much. Till next time.